assisted by referee Gary Johnson, and our starter is Louise Lambert. Obviously, this is the precursor to the madness of Saturday and Sunday. A rather sedate beginning on this Friday evening, the first Friday in November. 1,500 meters for the females, 3 heats of that, and then 6 heats of the open male 800 meter freestyle. Just a reminder, we want you all to cheer and shout and generally give as much effort into the gallery as the swimmers are given in the water. But please, we must insist on quiet at the start of each heat. And another reminder, swimmers, we only have the use of the North Pool this evening. We do not have the South Pool at all. That is open to the public this evening, so there will be a 15-minute break at the end of the 1,500 meters where females can cool down and the open male swimmers can warm up for their 800. But we do not have use of the South Pool this evening. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Referee, over to you. Event 101, the female 1,500 meter freestyle, heat 1. And this Swim England East Midland Short Course Championships for 2024 is underway. Heat 1 sees Sarah Dew of Leicester Sharks in lane 1, Lincoln Vulcans, Emily Talks in 2, Phoebe Benyon of Nova Centurion in lane 3, Lana Webb in 4 for Northampton, Worksop's Amy Walker swims in lane 5, Daisy Tatlow-Turner of Chesterfield in lane 6, and Nova Centurion occupy lane 7 and 8, Paige Bagshaw in lane 7, and Aurelia Vavrisnovic in lane 8. 60 lengths then of this short course pool. 50 meters down, and the early leader in lane 6, Daisy Tatlow-Turner. A long way to go, though. Different strategies each of these swimmers will have as well. Some swimmers prefer to hit the front and try and maintain that pace. Others back end their events. A range of ages in this one as well, from Emily Talks in lane number 2, swimming as a 12-year-old, all the way up to Sarah Dew in lane 1, swimming in the 17 years category. Paige Bagshaw in lane 7, next youngest, 13 years age group is Paige. Not a great deal to choose between lanes 3, 4, 6 and 8 as they approach the 150-meter mark. If anything, Phoebe Benyon looks to be turning in front in the black hat of Nova Centurion. Aurelia Vavrisnovic out in lane 8 going very well as well. But it's lanes 3 and 4 setting the early pace. Benyon in 3 and Lana Webb in lane number 4, representing Northampton. 2:20.01 then from Benyon. 200 meters down. They say you need to be wired a certain way to be swimming a 1500, but all I know is that you need grit, you need determination. The hours of all swimmers put in, ploughing up and down in training. And these athletes are showing that grit, determination right from the off. As Lana Webb hits the front. Still Phoebe Benyon pushing hard. Vavrisnovic maintaining third position out in lane 8. Keeping in touch is Daisy Tatlow-Turner in lane number 6 from Chesterfield. As is lane 5's Amy Walker representing Worksop. But still, Benyon and Webb driving each other on. Keep an eye on their lane positioning as well. Neither one of them will want to give the other an advantage and allow them to swim off their wave. As you see, Phoebe Benyon in lane 3 trying to come to the far side of her lane so that Webb doesn't have an advantage. And now this cat and mouse affair in heat number 1 goes the way of Lana Webb on the latest turn. Vavrisnovic in third in lane 8. And a raft of swimmers from lanes 1, 2, 5 and 6. That's Sarah Dew, Emily Torks, Amy Walker and Daisy Tatlow-Turner respectively. All pretty much neck and neck. It's going to be very useful for Lana Webb and Amy Walker having each other side by side to swim off. Largest advantage we've seen so far from Lana Webb in lane 4. She opens up half a body length lead, which equates to just about a second, 900ths in fact. And Vavrisnovic quietly going about her business out in lane 8, keeping in touch. Daisy Tatlow-Turner heading the charge for the next 4 athletes. "20 lengths completed then. And as you were at the front, Webb from Walker and Vavrisnovic. A little bit of daylight now for Daisy Tatlow-Turner in lane 6. Trying to reel in Aurelia Vavrisnovic in lane 8 whilst keeping the challenge of Amy Walker at bay in lane 5. Walker still going strong though as well. And Sarah Dew in lane 1 has now created a little bit of a gap between herself and Emily Torks of Lincoln Vulcan in lane 2. Lana Webb then in 4. Now a body length ahead of Phoebe Benyon in lane number 3. And Aurelia Vavrisnovic out in lane 8. Really comfortable looking stroke. Obviously pulling lots of water with each arm pull. Keeping in touch. You can see the stroke rate difference between the leading 2 and Vavrisnovic. But very effective from the Nova Centurion athlete out in lane 8. As Amy Walker now looks to make a move on Daisy Tatlow-Turner. Lanes 5 and 6 respectively. .32 to go then. Webb now carving out a 2.5 second advantage. As Phoebe Benyon just falls off the pace a little bit from the Northampton swimmer. Obviously at this stage in the season, 2 months into the season really, these athletes will be using these championships as a marker to see where they are in their training cycle. Coaches will be eagerly watching technique, race strategy as we move towards Christmas and the end of the short course season. Over halfway now then. As Lana Webb will see 28 laps left on her lap card. So pretty much as you were for the first 750 meters. Lana Webb of Northampton from Phoebe Benyon, Nova Centurion. Aurelia Vavrisnovic, Nova Centurion in 3rd place. 4th place currently, lane 6's Daisy Tatlow-Turner. And Amy Walker in lane 5, representing Worksop. Going well out in lane 1, Sarah Dew from Leicester Sharks. And Emily Torks in 2 and Paige Bagshaw round out heat number 1. Lana Webb looking very, very strong. Sizable advantage now over Phoebe Benyon. Vavrisnovic in lane 8, trying to reel in her teammate. Hard to see though, from lane 8 to lane number 3. And Phoebe Benyon herself won't really be able to see Vavrisnovic all the way to her left. So Lana Webb, 500 meters to go at this scoreboard turn. Quite obviously, these 1,500 meters are heat declared winners. No finals for this one. As with the 800s as well. So still Webb from Benyon, Vavrisnovic in third place. Tatlow Turner, lane 6, occupying fourth, and now a battle between Sarah Dew in 1 and Amy Walker in lane 5. And it's just Amy Walker who turns a 1/10 of a second ahead of the swimmer from Leicester Sharks. As Lana Webb turns once again with 14 to go, she's going to enjoy a 10-meter advantage over Phoebe Benyon. And look at Vavrisnovic out in lane 8. She is now putting pressure on her teammates in lane 3. Scoreboard end this time then. Lana Webb will see the 10 marker indicating 250 meters remaining. Vavrisnovic now finds herself in second place in lane 8. And Phoebe Benyon in lane number 3 just falls into third. Tatlow Turner in lane 6 in 4th place. Sarah Dew in 5th and Amy Walker in 6th. $200 to go then. Let's have a look if these swimmers start going to their legs. Lana Webb still very strong with the upper body. Those legs are being reserved. Vavrisnovic maintains her position in lane 8 in 2nd place. Phoebe Benyon in 3rd in lane number 3. $150 left then for Lana Webb. In her pursuit of heat number 1, Vavrisnovic now a good 3-4 meters ahead of Benyon. Paige Bagshaw in lane 7 still fighting really hard as well for Nova Centurion. $100 meters to go then for our leader, Lana Webb. Vavrisnovic sees the same distance left in lane 8, as does Phoebe Benyon in lane 2. And I tell you what, Vavrisnovic is not too far behind as they come to take the bell, maybe a little bit too much with only 50 meters left, as Lana Bell hears that delicious sound of the bell indicating 2 more lengths. Vavrisnovic as well. Vavrisnovic has paced this one really, really well. Phoebe Benyon also hearing the bell, as will Daisy Tatlow-Turner. Lana Webb turns for home then in heat number 1. Vavrisnovic now goes to her legs out in lane 8 as well. But it will be Northampton's Lana Webb who takes heat 1, the first heat of these 2024 Swim England East Midlands short course champs. Aurelia Vavrisnovic in second place and Phoebe Benyon in third. Daisy Tatlow-Turner with a really great swim to finish in fourth. And Lana Webb's entry time of 18:36 has just been blown out of the water. 22-second betters her entry time, 22 seconds. Vavrisnovic as well. Vavrisnovic came in with a 19:05. So 18:17 for Aurelia Vavrisnovic. And Phoebe Benyon, 18:21. She finishes after her entry time of 18:38. So great swims all the way around as Paige Bagshaw finishes off heat number 1. Come on, Harvey Haddon. Big round of applause for our 8 athletes. Some very fast swimmers coming in that one as well. As indeed we'll see in these next 2 heats of this 1500 as well. Obviously just making sure the scoreboard and all the times are correct. If you look at Emily Torks' time as well, Emily Torks came in with an 18:56 and Emily's posted 18:20. So 36 seconds almost better than her entry time as well. Great swims from everybody in heat 1. As I mentioned earlier, nearly 50 clubs represented over the weekend here. Bassetlaw, Belper Marlin, Bramcote, Braunston, Buxton, Calverton and Bingham, Carlton Forum, Chesterfield, City of Leicester, City of Lincoln, Pentaqua, Colville, Corby, Daventry, Deepins, Derby Excel, Derby Phoenix, Dronfield, Etwall, Gainsborough, Grantham, Hinckley, Hucknall, Kettering, Loughborough University, Leicester Sharks, Lincoln Vulcan, Long Eaton, Loughborough, Louth, Mansfield, Matlock, Newark, Northampton, Nottingham Leander, Nova Centurion, Hobey Wigston, Radford, Repton, Rushton, South Lincolnshire, Sutton, Swadlincote, the University of Nottingham and Worksop. I think I've just about covered everybody, but it's going to be great to see all these athletes representing these Swim England East Midlands clubs at these short course championships. The stream is live. If you go onto YouTube, go to Swim England East Midlands. Share it with your friends, family, anybody who's been unable to make it this evening. Because this is just the appetizer for what promises to be an incredible weekend of swimming. Tomorrow morning, we open things up with the female 100-meter freestyle. Then the open male 200-meter freestyle find their way into the pool. Then we have 50-meter breaststroke for the females. Open male 100-meter breaststroke follows that. Then the 400 meters individual medley for the women. 100-meter fly for the open male category. Then the female 100-meter backstroke. 50-meter backstroke for the open males. And then 200 fly for the females before session number 2 concludes with the open male 200 meters IM. All those will be heading towards finals except for the 400 IM, which will be a heat declared winner. And that's just session 2 tomorrow. We've then got session 3. And then the first finals of the weekend. Session 3 includes the 400 freestyle for the women, open male 50-meter free, 200-meter breaststroke for the women, 1,500-meter open male, and then the 100 IM for the female, backstroke 200 meters open male, and session 3 concludes with the 50-meter fly for the girls. I think we are just about ready to get heat 2 underway. After a slight technical hitch, referee. Heat 2. Away we go on the marathon second heat. Grace Grindrod in 1 for Northampton. Repton's Yasmin Vaj in lane 2. Nova's Pippa Hickman in 3. Janie Finch of City of Leicester in lane 4. Bo Cunningham in 5 for Corby. Grace McDonald of Grantham swims in lane 6. Lily Hamilton in 7 for Louth. And Francesca Hallam-Stott of Grantham in lane 8. So let's have a little look who's in front as they turn and approach the 100-meter mark. I obviously don't need to tell you experienced swimming aficionado spectators about the way that these heats are structured. Fastest 2 swimmers are in lanes 4 and 5. In fact, the fastest is always in lane 4. And that is Janie Finch of the City of Leicester. And then it fans out until we get to the swimmers with the slowest qualification times on the outside 2 lanes, lanes 1 and 8. So you'd expect a spearhead formation, but that isn't necessarily always the case. But Janie Finch is doing her bit. Fastest on paper in heat 2, proving she's the fastest in the pool at the 150 mark. Bo Cunningham in 5, leading Grace McDonald in 6. But there's not a great deal between McDonald and Grindrod in 1, Vaj is in 2, Hickman in 3. And Hallam-Stott in lane number 8. But Janie Finch taking this one out strong. .250 meters already in the bank then. And Janie Finch has a 5-meter lead over Bo Cunningham. And then the rest of the field battling it out for 3rd spot, which currently goes to Grace McDonald of Grantham in lane 6. So Janie Finch had a 5-meter advantage at the end of the last 50, and it's pretty much identical as she turns this time at the scoreboard end. Cunningham now with a target on her back for Grace McDonald in 6. Pippa Hickman in lane 3. And Hallam Stott out in 8 as well, trying to keep in touch. Jasmine Vartage in lane 2 as well, going very well, holding on to the Nova Centurion athlete in lane 3. That 5-meter advantage for Finch has now been extended out to around about 7. Looks very strong. She'll have her own pace target in her head every 100 meters. She'll be looking to try and clock a similar sort of time every 100 and maybe just build as the race goes on. But at this stage, as they reach the 4:50 marker, the battle looks to be for second place, but there is still a long way to go. Anything can happen, and generally does in these 1500s. Cunningham now eking her lead ever further over Hallam Stott in 8. McDonald in 6, Hickman in 3, and Vartage in lane number 2. It was 7 meters for Finch. Now it looks nearer to 10. .550 down and dusted. Really nice battle developing in lanes 2, 3, 6, and 8. Jasmine Vartage of Repton in 2. Pippa Hickman, Nova Centurion in 3. Grace McDonald in lane number 6 for Grantham. And Francesca Hallam Stott out in 8. Teammate of McDonald. Looks like Finch may be out of reach for those athletes, but Cunningham they will have in their sights. As Finch's lead now approaches 14 meters. Just keep an eye on these swimmers and see if you notice technique change at all. Stroke rate may increase, may see more splash from the legs, depending on the individual race strategy of these athletes and where these swimmers' strengths lie. Lead is now 15 meters. for the City of Leicester's Janie Finch. And Janie Finch is swimming as the youngest athlete in this field. Janie Finch swimming as a 14-year-old. All the other swimmers in either the 15, 16 or 17-year age group, which makes Finch's performance even more impressive. Cunningham still clinging on to second, but now Varta's trying to put daylight between herself and Hickman in lane 3, whilst catching Cunningham in at 5. And it does look like at this turn, Jasmine Vartage of Repton may well just sneak ahead of Cunningham. No, Cunningham's still just in second place, but it doesn't look like being long. 16-meter advantage now for Janie Finch. Vartage, Hickman and Cunningham, lanes 2, 3 and 5 respectively, in a royal battle now for second place in Heat 2. Grantham teammates Grace McDonald and Francesca Hallam-Stott in lanes 6 and 8. Their own private battle, as Hallam-Stott just marginally ahead of her teammate. But as they approach the scoreboard end this time, look at lanes 2, 3 and 5. Take a brave individual to call this. And it goes to Vartage for Repton. 10:03.75, then 10:03.80 Cunningham and 10:03.89 Hickman. But Janie Finch continues her dominance in Heat 2, now with a 20-meter advantage. Repton versus Nova in lanes 2 and 3. Corby with Bo Cunningham in lane 5. Grantham lane 6 and 8. And it does look as though Pippa Hickman and Jasmine Vartage now have powered past Bo Cunningham, and Hickman herself finds herself in second place. Still around 20 meters to make up though on our leader, Janie Finch. And Grace McDonald in lane 6 now, hunting down Bo Cunningham in that yellow hat of Corby. So Janie Finch still leads. Hickman and Vartage, though, their battle is seeing them close the advantage ever so slightly. Length by length. It may well still be a little bit too much to make up with 18 lengths to go for Janie Finch. But you know that the Repton swimmer in 2 and the Nova Centurion athlete in 3 will push each other hard all the way to the end of this one. Still a 20-meter advantage for Janie Finch of the City of Leicester. And neither Hickman nor Vartage given an inch. Still side by side. .400 meters at that last turn for Finch. 1:02.98 for Hickman, 1:03.18 for Vartage. 0.2 of a second separating them, and Jasmine Vartage goes again, trying to reclaims second spot. As Janie Finch does now increase that advantage. And taking nothing away from Janie Finch, but all the action in heat number 2 here is in lanes 2 and 3. Bo Cunningham has managed to pull away a little bit from Grace McDonald in lane 6, and Francesca Hallam-Stott in 8, trying to hang on to the coattails of her teammate. But the heavyweight battle at the moment is Hickman versus Vartej. Janie Finch looking mercurial in lane number 4. And Vartej and Hickman just keep exchanging blow after blow as Hickman now finds herself half an arm length in front. 250 meters remaining then for our leader. Janie Finch of the City of Leicester in the 14 years category. Quite remarkable. We need to start looking at her time. Her entry time, Finch, was 17:47. And as she turns this time, she only has 200 meters of this Harvey Haddon Sports Village short course pool to navigate. Janie Finch, 15:09, 200 meters remaining. And still there is no give between Vartej and Hickman in lanes 2 and 3. Vartej turns 15:26.60. Hickman 15:26.68. As Janie Finch cruises in. 150 meters remaining. And now Jasmine Vartej off that wall, hits the front, tries to put some space between her and the Nova swimmer in lane 3. And on that last 25, the stroke rate of the Repton swimmer in lane 2 has visibly increased, and she's forged nearly a body length advantage over Pippa Hickman in lane number 3. Bo Cunningham still in 4th place in lane 5. Grace McDonald in 6 and Francesca Hallam-Stott the next 2. 100 to go then for the leader, Janie Finch. 16:21, remember her entry time, 17:47. She should be blowing that time completely out of this Harvey Haddon pool. As Janie Finch comes in to hear the bell this time around, and Jasmine Vartej looks like she's broken the defiance of Pippa Hickman in lane number 3. There is the bell for Janie Finch. All about the clock now for the swimmer from the City of Leicester. As Jasmine Vartej in the last 100 meters has stamped her authority for second place over Pippa Hickman. But in comes Janie Finch. Remember, her entry time, 17:47, her entry time. And with 5 meters to go and the clock not even at 17:30 yet, it's going to be a very impressive swim. 17:30, 17 seconds ahead of her entry time, with a big smile as well on the finish. Jasmine Vartej's entry time was 18:09. She's going to be well inside that as well. And Pippa Hickman as well. Pippa Hickman came in with a 17:58. So all 3 of the first 3 athletes underneath their entry times. Bo Cunningham comes in 4th. Grace McDonald 5th, Francesca Hallam-Stott in 6th place. 2 athletes still left in the pool. Harvey Haddon helped them out. As Grace Greenrod of Northampton in lane 1 comes in to finish her charge. Grace Greenrod finishes in 7th place. And Lily Hamilton's going to need all your support, Harvey Haddon, as she goes to turn for her final 50 meters. Let's make sure she can hear us as she turns for home, Harvey Haddon. A sterling effort once again from all 8 athletes. $15 to go then. Raise the roof when she touches that wall, Harvey Haddon. Show your appreciation. And Lily Hamilton finishes off heat number 2. The final heat is heat number 3. So heat 3 then, the final heat of this 1500 meter freestyle for the girls underway. Let's have a look at the runners and riders then. Lane 1, Phoebe Adams of Northampton, Repton in 2 and 3, Sana Lafalla in 2 and Hannah Hodgkiss in 3. Loughborough University's Fleur Lewis in lane 4, Madison Emmett of Repton in lane 5. Lane 6 belongs to Francesca Harrison of the City of Leicester. Repton's Clara Guinness in lane 7, and Sophie Martin of Chesterfield completes the lineup for heat number 3. Straight away after the first 50 hitting the front, no surprise really. Fleur Lewis of the Loughborough University participated in the European Championships this year, 2024. And Fleur comes in on paper 1 minute and 14 seconds quicker than the rest of the field. All the other 7 swimmers all in the 17-minute range. Fleur Lewis clocking a 15:46 entry time. Quite remarkable, really. So in no way wanting to disrespect Fleur, but I think our concentration will be coming on the minor medal positions. And you'd think this would be the quickest heat, and therefore the medals will be decided in this one. So Lewis currently leads from Madison Emmett in lane 5, swimming for Repton. Hannah Hodgkiss, also Repton, currently occupying 3rd place in lane 3. And as they approach 250 meters, Lewis already 10 meters ahead or so of the rest of the field. Emmett in 2nd, Hodgkiss 3rd. And 4th place belongs to another Repton athlete, Clara Guinness, out in lane number 7. Look at the power in Fleur Lewis's arms. No leg kick hardly at all. Just flutters those legs to maintain her balance. And a rhythmic action with those arms, reaching and pulling gallons of water with every arm pull and extending her advantage over the rest of the field with every arm pull now. Almost out to 15 meters. Madison Emmett maintains second place from Hannah Hodgkiss in third. But Sana Fowler battling with her teammate Clara Guinness, lanes 2 and 7 respectively. So it's Loughborough University followed by Repton at this stage. So Madison Emmons looks like she has quite a firm hold on second place at the moment. But the rest of the field battling hard, all the other 6 swimmers in contention for third place and that bronze medal at this stage. But Fleur Lewis showing us how to swim a 1500 meters. When she gets to the scoreboard end this time, she will have completed 1/3 of the event, and she's almost a full 25 meters ahead of the rest of the field. Call it 24.5 meters actually, but being a little bit pernickety there. Madison Emmons looking very strong. Third place, if you had to give it somewhere at the moment, it'd be lane 2, Sana Fowler. 5:42.63. The Repton swimmer in lane 2 turns ahead of her teammates. And the City of Leicester swimmer Francesca Harrison in lane 6. A 21-year-old from Loughborough University turning this one into a procession. That stroke rate just has not dropped right from the outset. And she's already staring down, lapping the rest of the field after just 26 lengths. Not even at halfway stage yet. Emmett still in second, but Sana Fowler in lane 2, pushing hard. You can imagine as well, when you get to the position where Fleur Lewis is and you can see those other swimmers in front of you that you're hunting down to lap, that's got to give you an extra burst of energy as well. Pick them off one by one as Madison Emmett extends her advantage. But Sana Fowler in lane 2, definitely with a stranglehold on third place. Phoebe Adams, Hannah Hodgkiss, Francesca Harrison and Clara Guinness battling out for fourth. Here comes Fleur Lewis in lane 4. Her lead is 55. Do your maths right, Walker. Lead is 40 meters at this stage for Fleur Lewis as she comes up alongside Hannah Hodgkiss in lane 3. Lewis has lapped all but 2 swimmers in this third and final heat. And still with just about half distance to go for the Loughborough University student. You would expect her to complete lapping the entire field. Madison Emmett, though, still looking very nice and strong and relaxed in lane 5. Sana Falher in lane 2. Those two now pulled away from the rest of the field as well. So with 24 laps to go, Lewis laps the field. But Madison Emmett needs to stay strong, needs to make sure she knows where Sana Falher is, because she's battling herself for silver medal in this regional 1500 meters. And at the moment, she finds herself about 4 meters ahead of Falher in lane number 2. So Loughborough University first, Repton second, Repton third, and currently in 4th place belongs to lane 6's Francesca Harrison of the city of Leicester. Francesca Harrison, one of 2 swimmers swimming in the 15 years category, along with Phoebe Adams in lane 1. So the vast majority of the field coming into their final third, 20 laps to go, 500 meters left. We know Lewis is well out in front. Madison Emmett in second, Sana Falher in 3rd place. 4th place now belongs to City of Leicester's Francesca Harrison. Phoebe Adams in lane number 1 from Northampton finds herself battling with Harrison for 4th place. So the 2 15-year-olds. Adams in 1, Harrison in 6. Then Repton's Clara Guinness in lane number 7. Holding off the charge of her teammate Hannah Hodgkiss in lane number 3. And finally Sophie Martin going very well out in lane 8 as well. The machine that is Fleur Lewis just keeps on going. 300 meters remaining for Lewis at that last turn. It'll be time to start looking at entry times soon to see how close these athletes can get. Fleur Lewis came in, as I mentioned earlier, on a 15:46.1. And as she turns this time at the scoreboard end, she's going to have 200 meters remaining. She's turning in a 14:04. 1 minute 42 then to do 200 meters. That's a pretty big ask at the end of a 1500. Emmett turns in second. 2:50 to go for Emmett. 2:50 to go for Falha. Phoebe Adams now. With 2:50 as well, as is Francesca Harrison in lane 6. The 2:15-year-olds still battling it out. So Fleur Lewis will turn this time with 4 lengths, 100 meters. Half as much as the next nearest competitor, who is Madison Emmond, who last time she turned at the scoreboard end saw 200 on the cards. Emmons in second still, Falha in third. But here comes Fleur Lewis to take the bell. So no doubt about the winner of heat number 3 will be Fleur Lewis. Falha coming back now on Madison Emmett in lane 5. Is she just going to run out of pool? There is 100 meters to go. As Fleur Lewis turns for home with 15 to go into the final 10 meters for the athlete from the University of Loughborough University, should I say. And Fleur Lewis takes heat number 3. And now the battle on for second place between Madison Emmett of Repton in 5 and her teammate Sana Falha in lane number 2. They'll both take the bell next time they hit the scoreboard end. Has Madison Emmett done enough? What does Sana Falha have left in the tank for the final 50 meters? She's closing all the time. Here's Falha. But it looks like Madison Emmett may just have enough as the battle for 4th place goes on between Phoebe Adams in 1 and Francesca Harrison in lane 6. It looks like Phoebe Adams may be taking that one. Madison Emmett turns for home in lane 5. Sana Falha keeps working hard. But with 10 meters to go, it will be Madison Emmett who touches to take second. Sana Falha in 3rd place. And 4th to Phoebe Adams. Francesca Harrison with a very respectable 5th place. And Phoebe Adams, 17:24, is 16 seconds quicker than her entry time. And as we conclude the final heat of the 1500, congratulations to Fleur Lewis, to Madison Emmett, and to Sarah Falha. We'll read the official results out shortly. Just a reminder now, swimmers, you may use the North Pool whether you're cooling down from the 1500 or whether you're warming up for the 800. We have 15 minutes. We'll restart racing at 8:05. So just before we finish this 15-minute break, let's bring you some results. The 1,500-meter results then for the females, event 101. 16 years and underage group. Third place, Janie Finch, City of Leicester. Second place, Francesca Harrison, City of Leicester. And gold, first place goes to Phoebe Adams of Northampton. In the 17 years and overage group, third place, Sana De Falha of Repton. Second place, Madison Emmett of Repton. And first place, Fleur Lewis of Loughborough University. Swimmers, you can collect your medals from the Swim England medal table on the far side of the pool. And please do make sure you collect those before you leave this evening. We are going to begin racing in 5 minutes' time. So, swimmers, if you can begin to complete your warm-ups, your cool-downs. Be clearing the pool in just a couple of moments. Thank you. Okay, coaches, swimmers, if we can begin clearing the pool, please. Looking to get racing back underway at 8:05. So if we can begin to clear the pool in preparation for event 102, the open male 800-meter freestyle. So our officials are just about ready and in place. Our referees are ready to go again. So swimmers, please clear the pool. Just a reminder, 6 heats of this 800-meter freestyle for the open male category. Once again, gold, silver, and bronze for 16 and unders and 17 overs. Thank you for your compliance. We are just about to get the racing underway once again. Just a reminder, please, no photography anywhere in this facility on poolside or in the gallery. Changing rooms are the domain of the swimmers only. No parents, coaches, or other adults should be in the changing rooms. If you are wanting to come up onto the gallery to see anybody, please, swimmers, make sure you're appropriately dried and dressed with safe footwear on before you do so. And results will be available down on poolside and on the WhatsApp channel as well as the Swim England East Midlands website. So I think we are just about ready to go for Heat 1 of 6. Event 102, the open male 800-meter freestyle, Heat 1. First heat of 6 then. Joseph Cooper of Long Eaton in lane 1. Luke Dye in 2 for Nova Centurion. Corby's Oliver Home in 3. Ruben Meadows in 4 for Bassett Law. Harry Vickers of Lincoln Vulcan in lane 5. Oliver Whitaker of Radford in lane 6. Gareth Cox in lane 7 for City of Lincoln Pentaqua. And Repton's Arlo Hems Gilson in lane number 8. Gareth Cox in lane number 7, off to a flyer. 35-year-old in lane 7, bags of experience. He leads the way from Nova's Luke Dye in lane 2. And Ruben Meadows in 4 are your 1, 2, 3 at this stage. So as these heats go on, we will see swimmers with increasing experience, both regionally, but also nationally and internationally this evening as well. We'll bring you a little bit more news about who those athletes are as they enter the water. But at the moment, it's City of Lincoln Pentaqua's Gareth Cox in lane 7 from Luke Dye of Nova in lane 2. And Ruben Meadows, Bassett Law, lane number 4, the top 3. 22 lengths to go then for the City of Lincoln Pentaqua athlete at this turn. And he's got a 7-meter advantage over Luke Dye in lane 2, who himself has just about a body length, which equates to a second lead over Ruben Meadows. Oliver Horn of Corby, next best swimmer. In fact, my mistake, it's Harry Vickers who's leading Oliver Horn at the moment. Those distinctive yellow hats. Vickers swimming for Lincoln Vulcan and Horn for Corby. Good battle between Oliver Whittaker in lane 6 and Arlo Gilson in 8. Radford and Repton, respectively. The Repton swimmer just fractionally ahead at this stage. Gareth Cox continues to lead the way. He's now opened up a 10-meter advantage. Ruben Meadows and Luke Dye turning almost simultaneously. Similar advantage. Halfway stage for Gareth Cox, 400 to go. He's still looking very smooth, very strong out there in lane 7, representing the City of Lincoln Pentaqua. That distinctive orange and black swim hat. .250 meters remaining then for our leader. Still the same distance between himself and Ruben Meadows in second place. Luke Dye hanging on as well. The Nova Centurion athlete in lane number 2. So as he approaches the wall this time around, 6 lengths to go. Gareth Cox dominant in his swim. So 150 meters, and now Luke Dye in lane number 2 trying to eat into the lead, and it looks like Dye will turn ahead of Ruben Meadows. He does by 0.2 of a second, but no doubt at this stage about who's taking heat number 1. It is the City of Lincoln Pentaqua's Gareth Cox. Harry Vickers in lane 5 turns ahead of Oliver Horn in 3. So Gareth Cox is going to come in this time and take the bell. And that gargantuan battle between Luke Dye and Ruben Meadows continues as they themselves will hear that beautiful sound that all distance swimmers long to hear. Oliver Horn and Harry Vickers having their own battle as well. Lanes 3 and 5 respectively as they both take the bell. But Gareth Cox will take heat number 1, 9:19. And that's an incredible time compared to his entry time for Gareth Cox. 9:58.27 his entry time. Ruben Meadows in second, 9:27.7, and Luke Dye, 9:27.9. Both those swimmers inside the times that they've entered this particular heat with. As Oliver Whittaker hears the bell. And a strong finish from Oliver Horn in lane number 3. We'll see him come in 9:50. Harry Vickers, 9:53.06. And Arlo Gilson, a 9:55.8. Broken 10 minutes as Gilson. His entry time was just outside 10 minutes, so he should be pleased with that. And Oliver Whittaker comes in for the pink hat of Radford in lane number 6. And Joseph Cooper will round off heat number 1 for Long Eaton. Big round of applause for all our athletes in heat number 1. On we go then to heat number 2. Heat 2 underway then. James Goodwin of Oadby Wigston in 1. Deeping's Oliver Shepherd in lane 2. John Field with Joseph Diacon in lane 3. Thomas Loughton in 4 for Radford. Workstop's Lawrence Chapman in lane 5. Jack Hicks of Lincoln Vulcan swims in lane 6. Samuel Potter in 7 for Bassett Law. And finally, William Kite of Louth in lane number 8. Nothing between them after the first 50. Lawrence Chapman turning fractionally ahead of the field in lane 5. .32 length then of this short course pool for the 800 meters. And as they complete the first 100, it is Chapman who maintains his advantage over Diacon in lane 3. Going well in lane 1 is James Goodwin, as is William Kite out in lane 8 as well. And Thomas Loughton in lane 4 for representing Radford. Clinging on to the leaders. Looks like we're going to have a nice close one here in heat number 2. Lawrence Chapman still a body length in front. But Joseph Diacon of Dronfield staying in touch. Next quickest William Kite out in lane 8 and James Goodwin in lane 1. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4. Stroke rate seems to increase a little bit from the Worksop Dolphin in lane 5. Lawrence Chapman ekes out another metre or so on Joseph Diacon, and William Kite in lane 8 now challenging for second place, pulling away from James Goodwin in lane number 1. All the athletes in this race range from 9 minutes 47 down to 9 minutes 35 in terms of their entry time. Thomas Loughton, the quickest on paper, 9:35.19. But at the moment, Lawrence Chapman setting the pace. He continues to add to his advantage. William Kite and Joseph Diacon battling for second place. And those three, the next time they hit the scoreboard end, will be at halfway in Heat 2. .4:39.6 at the halfway mark then. And if he could do an equal split on his second half, that would put him easily inside his entry time, Lawrence Chapman. That's easier said than done. William Kite in lane 8 now finds himself in second place in this second heat. And Joseph Diacon of Johnfield in third. Big gap then to the next quickest swimmers, who are James Goodwin of Oadby Wigston in 1. And Lincoln Vulcan's Jack Hicks in 6. .250 meters remaining for Lawrence Chapman of the Worksop Dolphins. And William Kite will also see the same distance, as will Joseph Diacon, lanes 8 and 3 respectively. Jack Hicks now has pulled out an advantage over James Goodwin. Lawrence Chapman looking ever so strong. Smooth, controlled. Using the upper body very well, not relying on the legs. It's just that flutter kick, just to keep balance, keep the rhythm going. And he now has a 20-meter advantage over William Kite out in lane 8. So Lawrence Chapman then looking very compact. Stroke rate has increased. William Kite now finding Joseph Diacon coming back on him with the bell for Chapman. 50 meters remaining. Let's have a look at Chapman's entry time. 9:36.4 with his entry time. And he turned in 8:31. Can he come back in a minute 5? You would have thought so for a 50 meter, more than easily. So Lawrence Chapman, as Joseph Diacon and William Kite also take the bell. Remember, Lawrence Chapman 9:36.4 and he clocks a 9:03. 33 seconds better than his entry time. Let's have a look at William Kite then as well. William Kite 9:47.4. He's going to be well inside that. As is Joseph Diacon 9:37. Well inside entry times for Kite and Diacon as well. Great swimming from those three athletes. The battle for 4th place looks to be going the way of Jack Hicks in lane 6. Oliver Shepherd takes 5th. Sam Potter in 6th place. And James Goodwin will take 7th. And Thomas Loughton with last 50 to go. He's going to need your help, Harvey Haddon, for this last 50. .20 meters remaining then for the Radford swimmer. Show your appreciation when he hits the wall. And that completes heat number 2. Heat 3. And away we go again. 3rd heat of 6 sees Cole Johnson in 1 for Radford, Nova in 2 and 3, William Swindlehurst in 2, Joel Harvey in lane 3, Derby Excels, Isaac Ebanks in lane 4, William Veer in 5 for South Lincolnshire, Bassett Law's Jacob Harness, it's out in lane 8, swimming for the City of Leicester. Now make no mistake, it is a fantastic achievement qualifying for these regional short course contests, regardless of what goes on when you're in the pool here. So all credit to all these athletes. But Lorenzo Silan in 7, representing Corby, doing the business at the moment. A raft of athletes for 2nd place, led by Joel Harvey of Nova in lane 3. .24 laps to go then, and Searland turns just under 2:10, 2:09.56. 3.5 second advantage over Joel Harvey. William Swindlehurst occupying 3rd place at this stage. Contrast of styles from Lorenzo Ciolan in lane 7 and Joel Harvey in lane 3. Very long, lolloping stroke out in lane 7. And the stroke rate from Harvey in lane 3, much quicker. You can see the height difference between the two athletes as well. So Ciolan obviously pulling much more water every time he reaches into the pool. And Harvey having to make that up with an increased stroke rate. Swindlehurst hanging on to the coattails of his teammate in lane number 2. Lorenzo Ciolan then still maintains that advantage. Joel Harvey and William Swindlehurst fighting hard. They've got distance now between themselves and the swimmer in 4th place. Isaac Ebanks of Derby XL. And following not far behind Ebanks is Jacob Harness in 6 and Cole Johnson in lane 1 of Bassett Law and Radford, respectively. This heat number 3 very spread out now as Lorenzo Ciolan, one stroke at a time, inches his way closer to this heat victory. Joel Harvey trying to stay in touch. 300 meters remaining at that last turn. Harvey now pulling himself away from his teammate William Swindlehurst in lane 2. And possibly catching Lorenzo Ciolan in lane 7. Definitely Joel Harvey eating into the lead of the athlete from Corby. 250 meters remaining. Harvey working very, very hard. Ciolan with that effortless stroke. $200 to go then for the swimmer in lane 7, as will be the case for Harvey in 3 and Swindlehurst in 2 the next time they turn at the scoreboard end. $150 to go. Harvey not giving up. That gap does look to be closing with every length. What can he find in the tank on this final 150 meters? Or will we see Lorenzo Ciolan go to his legs to stamp his authority on heat 3? Swindlehurst still in 3rd place as things stand. 100 meters to go then at the scoreboard end this time. Ciolan from Harvey. Swindlehurst in 3rd. Isaac Ebanks currently in 4th place. They'll hear the bell this time. As you can see now, the stroke rate from the Corby athlete in lane 7 has definitely increased. More splash from the legs as well. That gap doesn't seem to be closing from Harby, but there's still 50 meters to go. Searland takes the bell, Harby takes the bell. And the stroke rate from Searland definitely increases down the final 50. Harby working hard, but it might just be too much. But a valiant effort from the Nova Centurion athlete. As Lorenzo Searland, with 10 meters to go, is going to take heat number 3. And his entry time was 9 minutes 30, and he has absolutely obliterated that. 35.5 seconds. Joel Harby, 8:59. He goes under 9 minutes. 27 seconds better than his entry time. Swindlehurst in 3rd place. William Swindlehurst with a big improvement on his entry time as well. There's the 1, 2, 3 from heat number 3. Maxwell Burdett, the 12-year-old in lane 8, finishes in 6th. A very, very good swim. William Veer 7th, and Cole Johnson rounds out heat number 3. Heat 4. And away we go again then. Jack Smith of the City of Leicester in 1. Chesterfield's Carlos Sierra Villegas in lane 2. Jackson Crabb in 3 for the City of Leicester. Corby's Tyler Holliman in lane 4. Harrison Clark of Radford in 5. Jack Harris goes in 6 for Derby XL. Nova's Lucas Granville in lane 7. And Derby XL in the form of Lucas Kimber in lane 8. .50 down then, and look at the start Tyler Holliman has made in lane number 4 in that yellow hat of Corby. But Carlos Villegas going with him in lane 2 as well, as is Jack Smith in lane 1. City of Leicester athlete with that distinctive black cap. Tyler Holliman then 3 meters ahead of Villegas. Smith increasing his stroke rate to try and get ahead of the swimmer from Chesterfield. Villegas will turn 0.2 of a second ahead of Jack Smith. These 3 at the moment pulling away from the field. Jack Harris in lane 6, the next closest. We've had these battles all night for some of these minor places in the 1500 that we saw earlier for the girls, but also the 800s that we're witnessing now, and this is no exception, as Jack Smith in 1 and Carlos Villegas in 2. Trading blows, trying to eke themselves ahead and ever closer to the leader, Tyler Holliman. The yellow hat of Corby in lane number 4. Don't go away, because a little bit later on in our final heat, we've got some big swimmers with some big international experience. Commonwealth Youth Games of 2023, European Juniors 2023, European Youth Olympics 2022, and the European Championships 2024. So some exciting swimmers to come later on in that final heat, number 6. But looking back into the pool at this one, it's Tyler Holliman in lane 4. Maintaining his advantage, Carlos Villegas doing what he can to stay ahead of Jack Smith in lane 1. Holliman approaches halfway, 400 to go, and he is ahead by 7 meters. Smith and Villegas still battling it out. Almost pull for pull. If anything, Jack Smith and his stroke rate is slightly elevated. Ahead of the Chesterfield swimmer at the moment, but Villegas seems to be holding him off. And that gap between first and second looks like it could be shortening as Smith and Villegas battle with each other, and in the meantime get themselves ever closer to Tyler Holliman in lane 4. Jack Harrison 6th, the best of the rest at this stage. Jackson Crabb in lane 3, currently sitting in 5th position. Yeah, the lead of Tyler Holliman now down to around 5 meters as Smith and Villegas continue to work hard. So when they turn this time, the 3 leaders will have 250 meters remaining. And as they turn with 200 to go, this could be a grandstand finish here in heat number 4. Jack Smith now forges his way into second place, and in doing so finds himself only half a body length behind our leader, Tyler Holliman. Carlos Villegas holding on as well. He's still in contention. It could go to any one of these 3 this 4th heat out of 6 in the open male 800 meters freestyle. Now this Swim England East Midlands Short Course Championships 2024. And unless my eyes are deceiving me, at this next turn, Jack Smith could find himself turning ahead. We'll only know for sure when they hit the scoreboard end. But as they come past my commentary position, it does look like Jack Smith is going to hit the front with 100 meters to go. Keep your eyes on that clock. 7:43.6 of a second now. Smith has carved out a lead over Holliman, who looked well in control at the midway point of Heat 4. Carlos Villegas as well, still there or thereabouts. And back comes Tyler Holliman. 60 meters remaining. Smith working hard all the way out from lane 1. And let's have a look at those entry times. Jack Smith came in on a 9:19, and he's turned on an 8:16. So you'd think he was going to at least get under his entry time, even if he doesn't take the heat. Tyler Holliman, a 9:03, and he should get under that as well, but it's all down to who's going to take the heat. Holliman in 4, Smith in 1. It looks like Holliman has gone to his legs now, and he could be into the final 5 meters, going to snatch this right on the wall. Tyler Holliman takes heat 4 from Jack Smith and Carlos Villegas. But all of those athletes come in underneath their entry times. A great race, great times for all 3 of them. Close for 4th. Have to wait for the scoreboard to correct itself. It is Jackson Crabb in 4th, Jack Harris in 5th. And those guys equally inside their entry times. Lucas Granville finishes just behind Lucas Kimber. And in to finish heat number 4 is Harrison Clark of Radford. And that concludes heat 4. We're just going to have a couple of seconds delay while our technical crew replace one of the timing pads. So 2 heats remaining. Every swimmer in these remaining heats has swum under 9 minutes, with the quickest swimmer, Tyler Melbourne Smith, who we'll see in heat number 6. Tyler Melbourne Smith, European Juniors and Commonwealth Youth Games in 2023. His entry time is 7 minutes 40. It looks like we're ready to go. Heat 5. The penultimate heat of the evening then is heat number 5. William Oxley of the City of Leicester in 1. Bassett Law's Sam Green in lane 2. Dylan Jameson in 3 for Derby XL. Noah Van Hoorbeek in lane 4 for Chesterfield. Nova's David Coyle in lane 5. Owen Hathaway in 6 for Grantham. City of Leicester's Oliver Davis in lane 7, with Finley Dare of Corby in lane 8. Nothing between them at the end of the first 50. 28.59 looks to be the quickest from lane 2, Sam Green. Sam Green, one of 2 14-year-olds in this particular heat. Green and Oxley, lanes 2 and 1 respectively, both swimming as 14-year-olds. Sam Green still going very, very well. David Coyle of Nova Centurion in lane 5 as well. possibly in second place at this stage. You have a look at these guys, and like we saw in the last particular heat, some athletes have a very relaxed, long-reaching style, some preferring to increase the stroke rate, possibly due to the size of each individual. Obviously, the taller you are, the more water you can pull with each stroke. If you're a tad on the shorter side, you need to make up for that with your stroke rate. But Coyle going very well in lane number 5, as is Sam Green still of Bassett Law in lane 2. Those two out in front at the moment. Dylan Jameson, Derby XL in 3, and Noah Van Hoerbeek in lane number 4. They're the top 4 at this stage. So if you are currently joining us, if you're watching from home, don't go away over the weekend. We've got some fantastic action. And not only have we got some fantastic action coming, we've also got some incredible athletes. We have European juniors, we have World Championship athletes, we have Olympic athletes from Paris 2024, all who will be swimming here over the weekend at Harvey Haddon Sports Village. So be sure to either come down or tune in to the live stream as David Coyle continues his assault on heat number 5. Dylan Jameson just trying to keep in touch with Noah Van Hoerbeek. And it's Coyle and Van Hoerbeek leading, but don't count off Dylan Jameson and Sam Green at all. $450 left at this turn. And Noah Van Hoerbeek now hits the front for the first time in this 5th heat. So they'll hit the midway mark at the scoreboard end this time, and it will be Noah Van Hoerbeek who will lead the way from David Coyle and Dylan Jameson, the 1, 2, 3. Sam Green still holding on there after a very good start for the Bassett Law 14-year-old. As we get into the second half of this 5th heat, it is Van Hoerbeek and Jameson now. As Jameson starts to make his move, David Coyle beginning to slip a little bit, and Sam Green still there or thereabouts. $300 remaining then. Van Hoerbeek from Jameson and Coyle. Oh, Van Hoerbeek looking very strong now. But Derby XL's Dylan Jameson is by no means out of this one yet. 250 remaining. Coyle trying to find another gear out in lane number 5, and Sam Green still with the bit between his teeth as well. He's looking to see if he can make an impact on the top three in heat number 5. Van Hoorbeek continues to pull away. Dylan Jameson now trying to claw back that advantage. A little bit more work from the legs now from the swimmer in lane 3. David Coyle working hard as well, and all credit to Samuel Green as well in lane 2. With 150 to go, Noah Van Hoorbeek of Chesterfield. It's his heat to lose. And he doesn't look in any danger of doing that at this stage. So there's our top 4. Let's have a little look down the field. William Oxley in lane 1, currently in 5th place. Finley Dare in 6th place out in lane 8. And a good battle between Owen Hathaway and Oliver Davis, lane 6 and 7 respectively. 100 to go for the leaders. Still Van Hoorbeek from Jameson and Coyle. Sam Green turns it up another notch, trying to track down the Nova Centurion athlete in lane 5. And these 4 will hear the bell this time round. Turning for home then, as he dispatches the hat into the final 25 meters. Noah Van Hoorbeek is going to take heat number 5. Let's have a look at this time. He came in with an 8:40 on paper. He's going to be inside that. 8:35 for the athlete from Chesterfield. Second place goes to Dylan Jameson, and third is going to go to Sam Green of Bassett Law. And Sam Green is going to come in with a time 12 seconds quicker than his entry time. William Oxley takes 5th place, Finley Dare in 6th, and that battle for 7th and 8th has been a good one all the way through, as Owen Hathaway will take 6th and Oliver Davis 7th. Heat 6. And away we go then for the final heat of the evening. Lane 1, Eden Row, Northampton. Nova Centurion's Daniel Walker in lane 2. Harry Wynne-Jones of Loughborough University in 3. Tyler Melbourne-Smith, Loughborough University 4. Nathan Whiffen, Loughborough University in 5. And Luke McGee, Loughborough University in 6. City of Leicester's Dan Harris in lane 7. And Manal Mystery in lane 8 for Northampton. Now, I told you about some of those big guns. Well, here they are. Fastest on paper. Here's lane 4's Tyler Melbourne-Smith, and Tyler Melbourne-Smith comes on the back of European Juniors and Commonwealth Youth Games in 2023. Second quickest, Nathan Whiffen. No doubt you've heard that name, but the 23-year-old Nathan Whiffen was at the European Champs in 2024, just this year. So Tyler Melbourne-Smith out in front at the moment from Whiffen in 5. Lane 3 belongs to Harry Wynne-Jones. And Harry Wynne-Jones himself, a Commonwealth Youth Games participant in 2023. And then lane number 6, Luke McGee, the 4 Loughborough University students. European Youth Olympics in 2022 for Luke McGee. So this is going to be a race of two halves. The 4 university students, they'll be battling it out for first to 4, and then the next 4 athletes. Dan Harris currently in 4th place in lane 7, Dan Walker in lane 2, and Eden Rowe and Manal Mistry battling out lanes 1 and 8 respectively. Tyler Melbourne Smith going great guns at this stage. Walker and Harris having a good battle, as they have done so many times over the years, both at regional and national level. Both those guys swimming as 17-year-olds. So the battle for supremacy amongst the Loughborough University students, as you would expect, looks to be going the way of Tyler Melbourne Smith. Whiffin turns second. Harry Wynne Jones in 3rd place. Obviously a little bit of context as well. Wynne Jones, Melbourne Smith, both 19 years. Luke McGee, 18 years. And Nathan Whiffen, 23. Whiffen's speciality, though, is the backstroke rather than the freestyle. Dan Harris still ahead of Dan Walker at this stage. And Manal Mistry fractionally ahead of Eden Rowe in lanes 8 and 1. Great experience for these youngsters swimming with these athletes from Loughborough University with so much experience, both nationally and internationally. So Tyler Melbourne Smith will be hitting the halfway mark when he goes to the scoreboard this time, as will his 3 teammates from Loughborough University. Dan Harris now etching his lead ahead of Dan Walker. So this will be the midway mark for Harris and Walker. Dan Harris from the city of Leicester, Dan Walker from Nova Centurion. As I mentioned, same age group, and they've battled 400s, 800s, 1500s, IMs ever since they've been growing up. It's a friendly rivalry, get on very well they do, as I'm sure do the athletes from Loughborough University. Tyler Melbourne Smith now in a procession. .300 to go for Melbourne Smith. Final 250 then for the Loughborough University student. Nathan Whiffen still maintaining 2nd place ahead of Harry Wynne Jones, with Luke McGee in 4th place. .250 for Harrison Walker remaining. All these athletes have had a very long wait as well, if you consider the warm-up was 6:15 initially, and they've had to wait through the 1500s. Then they've had a little bit of a 15-minute swim in the middle, and then they've had to wait through 5 more heats of the 800 before getting in the pool. No easy feat to wait that long. Make sure you're fueled properly. Make sure you're stretched and ready to go. But nevertheless, same for all 8 of them. And all great experience for all of these athletes. Man Our Mystery still slightly ahead of Eden Rowe in lane number 8. But Tyler Melbourne Smith turns with 100 to go. As does Nathan Whiffen. Walker and Harris 150. Well, Harris actually 105 now, Walker 115. Taking the bell then, Tyler Melbourne Smith. Let's have a look at his time. Melbourne Smith came in with a 7:40, so I think he's just going to be just outside that time is Melbourne Smith. Nathan Whiffen a 7:50. Chance for Whiffen to get inside that time, but Tyler Melbourne Smith going to be just outside his entry time. 7:46.08 for Melbourne Smith. Nathan Whiffen's going to be just outside that entry time as well. 50 meters to go for Harris. 50 meters for Walker as Harry Wyn Jones, 7:56. Fractionally outside Wyn Jones' entry time as well. The battle for 5th place between Harris and Walker. Harris turns first with 25 to go. Walker is closing, but I think he's just left it a little bit too late. As Dan Harris's time, 8:36 for Harris. His entry time, he's going to come inside that. And he comes in 8:28. Walker hits an 8:30, which indeed is 6 seconds quicker than his entry time as well. And Man Our Mystery and Eden Rowe finishing things off this evening. Eden Rowe looks to be turning for home first. Representing Northampton. Teammates, in fact, Mystery and Rowe. And Eden Rowe will come in with about an 8:57, I think. He does indeed. And finishing off session 1 is Man Our Mystery. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody who's been in attendance this evening. We've got the results to bring you. But before we do that, just a big round of applause and a big thank you to all our officials and our volunteers and all the events crew. If you're not staying around for the results, we hope we see you again tomorrow morning. Warm-up tomorrow morning is 8 a.m. with racing due to start at 9 o'clock.